Hello everybody and welcome. It's another video from Tumba. This guy, I call him Final Boss. Someone once fought this build and, I'm tanking like tons of guys. Felt like a whole faction, was probably more like 15, but one guy whispers me and he's like, fighting you was like fighting the raid boss at the end of some trial. That's what it feels like. This guy, he puts out consistent damage, he hurts to fight against. If you Dawnbreaker this guy, you're gonna take more damage dropping your Dawnbreaker than this guy's gonna take. This build is incredible. You block so much damage and you deal tons back. Here's the real first secret to the build: the Defending Warrior set, the Resilient Yokita set. I've tested so many builds, so many different setups for the Harbinger tank out there. You do need Harbinger, you need Defending Warrior, and Stonekeeper. Okay, that's it. That's the build. Now, the Resilient Yokita set works this way. When you block an attack, you deal some magic damage to everything within 10 meters of you, and you heal for 100% of that damage done once every 5 seconds that occurs. The 10 meters is bigger than the 8 meters that you'd get from Crimson. It occurs more often. It heals you for more because the proc, it's about the same. It's about the same, but you get the proc more often, and that's why it's better. You're healing for all the damage, all the enemies that are on top of you. So as long as you can like get that proc off, if you can survive for 5 seconds, you're gonna live probably. You'd have to have everybody ranging you. It's just not gonna work. As a Necro, you're pulling people into you. People are already trying to melee you. They can't escape you. You're gonna be getting heals like crazy from this set. That's gonna keep you up way better than Crimson Twilight. I know everyone out there is using Crimson Twilight, but I've tested it all, guys. I've tested Storm Knight's Plate. There's Twin Sisters, Overwhelming Surge, Jolting Arms, Plague Slinger, Night Terror, Thunderbug. You can use all kinds of these sets to reflect, and I wouldn't use any of them. Defending Warrior, Resilient Yokita, the best 1vx tanking set out there, if you ask me. The best. Okay, Stonekeepers, you need this for your sustain. Otherwise, you just can't keep blocking forever and ever and ever. Stonekeepers will help you do that. It's going to give you stamina and magicka and health. It's better sustained, reliable sustained than any set out there. Yeah, if you went Engine Guardian, you get the proc, but you wouldn't get the stats you needed. You need across the board stamina, magicka, health. This is all of it. This is everything. And Harbinger, of course, you must have Harbinger. For your jewelry, the traits here are very important. To protective, you need a lot of resistance. Resistance is the key to survival here. You need a heavy enforced piece to help you with that as well. I've got sturdy on most of my other pieces. I've got one piece of impen, that's it. One piece impen, one piece reinforced on the gear. 2 protective on the jewelry, and those you go regen. Tri-stat regen, magicka, health, and stamina recovery. The necklace here, infused block cost reduction. That's another secret to the build. There is diminishing returns to block cost reduction glyphs because the game developers wanted to keep people from being able to block indefinitely, so they sort of increase the cost of blocking, and glyphs that reduce the cost of your block will give you diminishing returns. So if you just get, one max from one glyph, make that one infused, and make that one glyph as good as it could be. Infused block cost reduction, secret number 2. And secret number 3 is this. The Ice Staff sword and board combo. Okay, so you use your magicka to block with your ice staff, and your stamina to block on sword and board bar. How amazing is that? They tried to do away with perma block builds, but then they added the ice staff's ability to block using magicka. So now I'm just blocking to my heart's content on stam, and then with magicka. It's too good. And you've got here, you've got a heal on both bars. You want a stam heal on your magic bar and magic heal on your stam bar. Okay, so let's talk skills. This is your front bar. You want to stay on this as often as possible. Your armor buff is the most important skill. You gotta keep that up. Must keep that up. It's gonna keep you alive. It's gonna, and for two reasons. It's gonna pull people to you, and it's gonna give you a ton of resistance. And it's also gonna give you another a corpse summon that you can consume on your back bar. All right. Also, Intensive Mender is definitely the right morph to choose because it's going to create corpse for you quickly. I don't know if you know, but as a Necromancer, if you recast the skill over halfway through its duration, it'll immediately create a corpse for you, which you can consume. And okay, this is your burst heal. Hungry Sight is your burst heal. It only works on things that are right in front of you. Looks like this. Right, so everything I'm swiping there is going to give me a little health for each one of those targets that's right on top of me. You saw me use that when I nearly died in that video. You saw me use this to burst heal my way back to full when I didn't have anything else. Alright, and Guard is on the bar to help an ally, right, so I can sort of share my tankiness with them. It's not on the back bar, so if I swap bars, it's going to go away. So I just... in combat, when the enemy chooses not to focus me, but focus my buddy, because they realize what I'm doing, I can guard my buddy and not be useless and not just stand there. I can guard them. Defensive stance is the secret to this bar. It's the reason I block more damage and the cost of block is reduced on this bar. So I can block for quite a long time on the sword and board bar. That's the bar you want to be on because of this skill here. And the ultimate has to be double barred. Ravenous Goliath needs to be on both bars. You want this morph, yes, Ravenous Goliath. And that, you saw me sort of finish that guy off with. The kill that I got because I popped this ultimate, and that started doing damage to him. He had just Dawnbreakered me. And you saw him take all the damage for hitting me with the Dawnbreaker, and then I popped this skill when he was low, and it finished him. So, alright, you want to keep the Intensive Mender up at all times if possible. It's probably your most reliable heal, because it's so cheap. It's so cheap, and it gives you a corpse, which you can then swap to your back bar and use this skill for. This skill is free. It's free. Mortal Coil is free. You want to keep that up at all times as you can. And then this, Renewing Undeath, that's your Purge. And it's like healing springs. Standing in it is a good idea. Okay, so you're laying down... First of all, you're going into battle creating the corpses with your Intensive Mender and your Beckoning Armor, and anything else that dies, you can consume those. Immediately try to make a connection with Mortal Coil. Immediately. Try to throw that down. Okay, and then after that, beyond that, this you can throw down if you've got another corpse that's in the area that you're already in. You throw that down there, and you stay in that little white circle that it puts down, okay? That gives you extra health, and it purges negative effects from you. So, if you're in oil, if you're in siege, if you're in heavy combat, surrounded by a ton of people, definitely try and get this one down, because it's going to mitigate a lot of damage by taking those dots off you. And then, Overflowing Altar, this is huge. This is huge. You can lay this down in the area because it's going to make the potatoes, the pugs, the otherwise, well, not useless people on your faction, it's going to help them. It's going to help them heal. The people running around who don't even have self-heal slotted, you know, they're just spamming their attacks. They're not even thinking about how they're attacking. this is healing them when no one else in the game is allowed to heal their allies. You can just throw this down, and they're going to get minor lifesteal on anything in that area. And one of them can synergize that. If I see that synergy, oh, I love seeing this synergy on the battlefield. Oh, the Blood Feast synergy restores 65% of my max health. Pretty much heals me to full. If I see the synergy, take it. Take it, take it. That's an awesome synergy. That has saved my life so many times. Okay, Resolving Vigor. It's definitely, well, everybody knows this one. It's a great heal over time. Cost you stam, throw that out, and it's good heal. Good heal. Reliable heal. This skill, the Totem. See the sides of that? Alright, that's just a pulsating red circle to the enemy, and it's going to CC them. If they step into it for a second or two, they'll get feared, which is not fun. And when you're standing in it, you're mitigating damage. You take less damage. You've got minor protection while that's up. An ally has another synergy that they can hit in there that helps do damage to enemies. Alright. It doesn't last very long, it's only 11 seconds, and it costs you a little bit of magicka, so you're not spamming that. You're definitely not trying to keep that up 100% of the time. That's for useful situations when you're trying to deal with numbers, right? So let's say I've got a ton of people on me. I'm blocking over here, I'm coming around here, I'm casting other abilities, so I'm just showing you. I throw that down right there, you know, and it's in the middle. It's CCing everybody that's trying to follow me. It's making it annoying. You want to put that in the middle, right? And then you use that, and you go back and forth to the other side, just back and forth like that. That's the way to do it. Or, you know, if you're out in the field, you can use a rock. Use a rock. Just keep going around the rock and line of sight. Line of sight. That's the way to go. All right, potions. You want to be using. If I can pull that up. Tri-stat potions. Easy. Use these because you can't live without the stamina and the magicka. You can't. And you also can't live without that health. Well, yeah, all of that. It's just too good. This is the other one you would be using if you absolutely had to not be CC'd. You would need immovability for some reason, maybe going through a breach, going into a keep that's really hot, you would want that. Certain times, yeah, going into a breach like that that's really hot, if you get CC'd at the wrong moment, you will die. You will die. Alright, and your food is Orzorga's Smoked Bear Haunch. That's it. Max health, and then Tri-Stat Recovery. Recovery across the board. You're helping all of that out, and by drinking the potions, you're increasing a percentage-wide base to all those recoveries that you've just got. Okay, and here is the build. Overall, you can see everything. There it is. Champion points, food, my race, my class, Nord. I've tried this Harbinger tanking thing on a DK. The DK has a better burst heal, but that's it. Dragon's Blood is the only reason it's okay on a DK. The reason that Necromancer is so good is the ultimate. The ultimate buffs your health up by 40,000. Your health bar doubles, and Harbinger works based off of the amount of health you have. Okay, so you do want to pump up your health as much as you can, right? Here's the attributes, right? Because I thought this amount of magic and this amount of stamina was perfect. Perfect. I'm using magicka, it seems, a whole lot more for my utility skills, my armor buffs, and my ability to survive. And I'm using stamina a lot more for blocking because I'm trying to stay on this bar. Okay, if that makes sense. I hope it does. If you've got any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And I think I covered everything. Oh wait, yes, in that video you saw those people focusing me, and I just sort of walked through all their stuff and to that other pillar, got them to line of sight a little bit, The one guy chased me and didn't think. He wasn't concentrating like he should have, and I punished him for that lack of vision. His allies, though they focused on me, and I use this build as a distraction. Okay, smarter players, you're not going to kill them because they won't focus you, but slower players will. They will, and you can kill those. Your ability to keep people focused on you is why this build is so effective. Because you saw, I just sat there and I waited and I got them to turn their backs to where my allies would be coming from. I knew they would be coming from the keep. And sure enough, they were just staring at me when my allies came in and just smashed them on the flag. And they just, you saw the aftermath of that. But simple. So smart players, they avoid you. Okay. They go after your buddy. You guard your buddy. You slow them down. Your buddy gets to DPS better because you're keeping them alive with guard. And if smarter, you're alone, they just leave you alone. Okay, fine. Burn their siege. Res a player. Force them to play with you. Force them to do something. If they don't want to play with you, they want to leave you alone. That's fine. Go sit on the flag and flip it. You are extremely powerful on a build like this. Extremely annoying. It's hard to take down a build like this without tons of players fighting it. That's how useful this thing is. It's a monster. When you've got the right setup and you hit the right abilities at the right time, it is not easy. People think it's easy. You just block. But if you do that, you're going to eventually die. Nothing's undefeatable, right? Nothing is unkillable. But like, the intensive mender is one of your heals, that's one of your heals, and the swipe is one of your heals. But none of those are going to keep you up indefinitely. If you run into 40 people, there's a good chance you're going down, and quickly, even on this super tank. Nothing's unkillable. Nothing. So, play smart out there, use this wisely, and be safe, have fun.